Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
What is up? Welcome to Game 2 of our Best of 5 series between Esports and Dignitas for the third place in the American Dota League Season 1. And what a Game 1 we saw. Tremendous back and forth game between both teams. Denial able to capitalize and end up winning out. Really surprising result considering their past encounters. Dignitas are going to look to try and rebound here in Game 2 and find a victory for themselves. There's a good amount of money on the line for both teams, so expect to see the best of the competition yet to come still. It's going to require 3 victories for either team to take this series home, as that is the rules of the best of 5, and we'll see who can get to those 3 sooner than the other team. And we do see Denial taking a long time in their first ban for this game. They banned out the Gyrocopter, which is an interesting choice. Of course, they have first pick, so they could have picked up the Gyro if they would like to. It worked out pretty well for them in the last game. It's one of EWO's top heroes, of course. So it does seem like a prominent option for them, but it will not be a choice in this game.
10 seconds remaining.
Meanwhile, Wisp banned out first from Dignitas. A hero we have seen Denial run. So there are some teams in the Western scene that don't run Wisp as frequently as others, but both of these teams definitely Wisp fans. And since first pick isn't in play from Dignitas, they have to go ahead and make sure they ban that out. Denial looking for a ban as well here. And I think the theme of Game 1 was really Snaking's inability to get involved in an effective way. I go back to that pick, and it wasn't the Darkseer pick, it was their last pick, as they do have a Darkseer, and they get the Jakiro this time. Make no mistake about it, Masuko played really well in Jakiro last game. Some of his ice paths were tremendous. But the Darkseer middle by Snaking, if it would have been a hero that could have just outright beaten the Dragonite. Think of a Puck. A TA does well against Dragonite. Even Queen of Pain, of course, does really well against Dragonite. You get 2 levels into the Poison, or Shadow Strike, excuse me, and she dominates him. Those would have been great options. It would have definitely won them that middle lane, but instead Smash was able to do a tremendous job on DK. His farm got up there early. Ewo wasn't punished that hard in the bottom lane. He did fine. And then, of course, Mihawk did a pretty good job on the bear as well. It wasn't the earliest, it wasn't the earliest Radiance we ever seen, but it worked for them. So props to Denial. We'll see if they can maintain this momentum. Dignitas have that 2-hero setup they love to have. Vacuum into the ice path, and you could do so many things off of that. Denial, meanwhile, they have the Batrider and the Rubik so far. Batrider, tremendous hero. I believe we see him go pretty often on Smash in the middle lane, but I want to say occasionally Mihawk will take it up and try and run as an off-lane hero, and Rubik, of course, just one of their stronger supports, one of the stronger supports in the game either way, and being able to steal off potentially Ice Path from Jakiro is an amazing possibility. Dignitas, meanwhile, are going to go for 2 more bans. They banned out the Train Protector. I didn't mention that before. Of course, that was the ban before the picks, and then afterwards they ban out Lifestealer and Nature's Prophet. Denial ban out Nagasiren and Alchemist. So a couple of mid options, a couple of big teamfight options. You could see why Nagasiren would have to be banned out because Darkseer and Jakiro already being in play. If you have the song to set that teamfight up, you can definitely find yourself in a pickle. Dignitas looking for a 3rd pick. They're going to pick up the Morphling early here in the draft. And Morphling is a hero I've turned around on a lot. If you follow me on Twitter, which right now I could say most of you probably do not, so shame on you, you'd know that I criticized some teams, namely, I believe it was LGD China against Navi in the 5th game of those finals of what was the D2, it was the Alienware tournament. They picked up a Luna when they probably should have picked up a Morphling. I think Morphling's value against certain lineups is tremendous. Of course, his tank ability, his ability to escape as well through waveform, and the burst damage that comes out once he gets that 2-item setup on him, it's tremendous. Even if you don't go for the E-Blade, he still has a whole lot of damage that you have to cope with in not only physical but magical terms. So I do like the Morphling. Dignitas have run him more frequently as of late. It's one of their I don't want to say surprise picks, but one of their picks they integrate from time to time between Morphling and Doom. Those are the two heroes we see more frequently that are a little bit off the radar that they like to use whenever they can. Meanwhile, Denial, on the flip side, pick up the Dragonite again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it looks like it may be an off-lane Batrider. But Kunkka picked up from Dignitas. This is a hero I have not seen them run. I love Kunkka. I think he's a tremendous hero. I think at level 6, he's so strong. Outrageously strong, if you will. And I'm curious to see how they're going to do this. Are they going to put it on snaking? Are they going to put it in a solo lane? I'm not sure. I think its best matchup is going to be against DK middle, which looks like what the matchup will be right now, as the now are showing that DK. And we haven't seen DK tri-lanes outside of one team ran it recently, but usually DK ends up in the middle lane, and that is a good matchup for him. There isn't much room for Denial to pick up another solo here, so I assume he's going to end up there. Batrider would destroy Kunkka in the middle lane if he got the opportunity to have that matchup. So we'll see if they decide to try and switch it up now, Denial, to get better laning setups. But Kunkka could very well end up in a tri-lane as well and Morphling mid. There are options for both teams on the board. Denial with the 4th pick. They already have Rubik, they have Dragonite, they have Batrider. They're looking for support and a carry. This would be a pretty good place to pick up a carry if they want to go for the PA. It wouldn't be that good because Morphling's in play, Kunkka's in play. There's a lot of disables from the side of Dignitas. They pick up Leshrac instead. They'll go for the support first. Leshrac, an amazing support, gets underrated because he is very, very vulnerable. Takes a lot of damage in the middle of these team fights. You could see already, I mean, just the secondary damage he's going to take from the Tidebringer, from Wave Over, maybe even Dual Breath and Ion Shell. It's tough to deal with for a lot of these players, and your positioning has to be on point to really capitalize on the Leshrac. But if you're able to do so, you have a Leshrac and a Dragonite for pushing potential, which is tremendous because, of course, Edict build on Leshrac tears towers down. Dragonite is able to corrosive breath, and if you can play off of each other, you can potentially take down 2 lanes in very quick succession. Meanwhile, Dignitas ban out the Anti-Mage, who's definitely a good option for them, and Visage banned out from Denial. So taking Visage off the board, definitely a good idea. Dignitas with their final pick. They're looking for one more support to add to the Jakiro. We see that heroes like Leaner are still available. Vengeful Spirit is still available, but I think the SD is the best choice because the Batrider's in play. SD or
Enchantress.
They're going to go for a jungle instead. So Enchantress, jungle. Yeah, I think the SD would have been a really good support option, but you could see if Dignitas want to go safe tri-lane, then Enchantress will let you capitalize on getting some jungle farm. So she also provides a good amount of damage output. We said they have a decent amount of disables already on their team, so you could see how Enchantress fits pretty well into their whole lineup. My thoughts on SD were, of course, going against Batrider, an Elasa target, Dragonite, and Dragontail stun target. It would be nice to have that disruption for defensive purposes, but Enchantress gives you offensive options. So obviously, you go for either the more aggressive or the more passive, and Denial end up picking a Spectre here for their carry. Interesting pick. Spectre, of course, more common as of late. I think that Enchantress pick definitely opened up the option because they know it's not going to be an aggressive tri-lane. This is going to be quite the game because if both of these lanes are farming until these heroes are effective, Spectre takes a pretty good amount of gold before she can get involved in a meaningful way. Same thing with Morphling. So I wonder who's going to be hitting harder. It's looking like it's going to be an interesting game, too. Once again, thank you for joining me. I'm MMI John. This is the American Dota League Best of 5 series between Dignitas and Denial Esports for 3rd place. Try and finish in the money after a really good season of Dota coming out courtesy of the ADL. We do see our dire team, Team Dignitas, who find themselves down 1-0 in this series so far. Looking to try and rebound here. AUI 2000 is going to be playing the Morphling. We have Way Too Sexy on the Enchantress, Snaking playing the Kunkka, Fogged on Jakiro, and that leaves Universe playing the Darkseer. Meanwhile, for our Radiant team, we have Mihawk playing the Batrider. We have Smash playing the Dragonite yet again. Masuko on Leshrac. Misko playing Rubik. And there's Ewo playing the Spectre. and I always say this when I see a Spectre. I wonder if it's going to be an aggressive Spectre or a passive Spectre. Passive Spectre is what we've seen the most out of that hero, really. You sit back and you try and farm. You go for either that Radiance first, the Diffusal first, and you're in a safe farm lane, so you're going to get it in pretty timely fashion. An aggressive Spectre goes for drums first, goes for those phase boots, and you get involved much earlier. You get involved around 12 to 16 minute window with the use of Haunt, as opposed to waiting to probably the 23-minute timing, something along that, when you have boots and Radiance up. So I'm curious to see how this is going to work out for them. They have an aggressive lineup overall, so I'd assume it's going to be a more aggressive Spectre from EWO, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's definitely going to be contingent on how the lanes work themselves out as well. Snaking will be playing the Kunkka, the hero I haven't seen him play personally. I'm sure he's more than capable, though, on this hero. And Kunkka definitely a more aggressive hero to his style than the Darkseer would have been last game. So he has an opportunity to showcase some ability, maybe try and get a little bit of a rebound game, honestly, in the back end of an underwhelming performance last time around. Our top tri-lane is going to be farming pretty safely against this Batrider. Batrider's going to do what he can to pick up some CS, I suppose. He's a pretty good off-laner, so it shouldn't be that difficult. It's not really a real threat of death unless Enchantress gets a couple of lucky creeps and rotates in earlier here. You can see Smash taking a whole lot of pressure in the middle lane, but now he has the bottle up, so this is a big Bottle Crow lane. You can see Snaking spent a lot of money early here. Made sure he got some extra stats up and available to get this lane a little bit more in his favor. Bottom lane, Universe poking his head on a little bit. He throws off a couple ion shells. He has 3 CS, so not bad so far, but both of these offlaners are definitely hard pressed for experience. Middle lane's going to be the really big thing to watch right now, because both these carries are going to get farm. I think a 2-item, I think a Linken's Manta or a Linken's E-Blade Morphling is going to be really devastating in this game. I think Linken's E-Blade could be pretty strong this time around, because there's a lack of physical damage until Spectre gets huge. So the E-Blade could even be beneficial as a defensive item. We'll see if that's what he's going to opt for, if he's going to go a different route. On the bottom lane, we do see Spectre's leading the way in terms of farm. It's 15 CS so far. So we're probably going to end up seeing a much slower pace to the game than we did last time around. Last game, Denali took full advantage of their supports. They were able to roam them so well throughout the map. Universe is going to get spotted off here. He does pick up a heaping amount of experience, but no mana, no surge. He could be in a lot of trouble. They're going to use the telekinesis. They're going to follow it up with the Split Earth, and now they're going to go on top of him. Pause comes out. So anticlimactic. AUI 2000 with the pause. Oh, and purple does DC right on cue. And they thought that because they're diving him and he's standing still, I believe. So, what a situation we have for both these offlaners. And what a nice guy move from AUI 2000. Hero. Our hero. The savior. Chat, give it up for AUI 2000. Stand up guy. However, they're probably going to still kill this Batrider. I don't know. We'll see what they do off the end of the resume. They're in really deep. I feel like they'd be wasting time if they don't kill him. But at least they're giving them an opportunity to come back into the game. Stand up act. That AUI is. Middle lane, we could see Snaking's 10 for 6 against 11 for 1. So pretty even matchup for Dragonite versus Kunkka right now. Kunkka has his first bottle coming out to him. Dragonite, of course, is throwing his bottle back and forth. It's going to be coming out to him, as well as a couple pairs of boots for him and a carry. Ewo can definitely go to side shot to buy his boots. If he's buying boots this early, I want to say it's going to be the aggressive Spectre. It's going to be a phase into a drum Spectre. It's kind of what I hope for, to make the match really pop off around that 15-minute mark in terms of excitement. But hopefully we can get Mihawk back in the game. The farm in the jungle is going really well for Enchantress as well. She's sitting on 16 CS, and we could see, of course, since it's jungle farm, everyone always asks, is jungle farm really that different? Yeah, it is. Look at this transition. 16 CS in lane farm versus 16 CS in jungle farm. Net worth. Bam. Bam. Different. There you go, friends. We're 3 minutes into the game. This is the best of 5 series between Dignitas and Denial Esports, brought to you by the American Dota League. This is our 3rd place game. Winner of this will end up in the money, taking home a good chunk of change. Loser of this will get nothing, except maybe bragging rights for 4th place, which isn't really something to brag about. So I don't know if that's really something to hang your hat on. I think 3rd place is probably the only thing you can put on your resume, at least in this style of a tournament. 4th place in the International will probably be something worth mentioning. But for the ADL, 3rd place is so important. And Denial already up 1 game over Dignitas. The score's 1-0. They're looking to try and really create a gap here. We'll watch the Universe kill. He's going to go down here in a moment. Top lane, they will still go on top of Mihawk, and Mihawk's going to drop as well. So it's a trade, but First Blood comes out for Denial. They get it on Universe, and Universe cannot outmatch the AFK Batrider and get out of there fast enough, but still, classy play from Dignitas to pause and at least give him a fighting chance as he already rotates back up to the lane. His lane is pushing heavily, so he needed to get back up here and pick up some of this experience. The lane is also pushing decently for Universe, as he's going to pick up a little bit as well. And just keeping an eye on the CS battle, really. Oh, mid lane is about to pop off. Here we go. They're going to go ahead and use the telekinesis, and they're going to throw it on top. Split Earth. Snaking's in trouble. He's going to go down. They chained it up brilliantly. Way Too Sexy's even there, but he wasn't able to do enough in response. You can see Smash taking a good bit of damage, but it wasn't enough for the kill. And Nice Guy Fogged is not trying to take credit for Nice Guy AUI 2000's kind act. What a good Samaritan. But either way, those rotations for the supports pan out for Denial yet again. So last game, credit Denial for having tremendous movement on their support heroes. They try and start that off here again. We've been seeing a lot of games recently where the support picks aren't as mobile, and it certainly affects the middle lane in one way or another. In this way, it affects it in a meaningful, positive way for Denial right now, as Chikiro isn't the most mobile of supports, and with no setup stun or setup disable for him or Snaking, it's much more difficult for him to cash in on roams and really make them beneficial to his team. So you can understand how Denial have a little bit of an edge in that aspect. Smash is going to pop off a haste rune and mosey on towards the secret shop, where actually he's going to find, I have no idea what spider sense is tingling here. He's actually going top towards the dive. And Ursa's here. They're waveforming back. They spotted him off with the Ursa, and Smash's gank is going to be unsuccessful. So we see Mihawk catching himself in the trees for 15 more seconds. A little bit of clowny play from Mihawk right now. Should probably pretend to disconnect. No, I'm just kidding. The tower does push. Rubik has come up here for support, so the bottom lane is only 2 heroes down here. But we do see rotation into the jungle. Nope. It's come back out. Universe is back on the bottom lane. He's looking for a soul ring. He is level 4 now. So that's picked up a good amount of experience. Leshrac only level 2. Can't really afford to tank this Ion Shell damage right now. Spectre does finish off those phase early on. So an indication she's probably not going for a first item Radiance, because phase do cost a fair bit of money. 900 gold on top of the brown boots. In mid lane, we're going to see the telekinesis toss the Snaking back into a Dragon Tail stun. Is there enough damage, though? There almost is, but an Ice Pat's going to save him. But Coco's rum, not enough to keep him alive. The pursuit is here. Smash is going to get caught off, and it looks like it could be a 1-for-1 trade. The slow from Enchantress flies as well. Universe coming in with the Iron Shell on him, and Smash should die here. He will, in fact, go down. Ice Path on Masuko. They're trying to get a couple more, but the Split Earth comes in. A return kill onto Fog. Telekinesis on Way Too Sexy. Way Too Sexy might go down as well. Edict damage is enough to get the kill, and it ends up being a 3-for-1 in favor of Denial. Their response just greater than that of Dignitas. And Denial are taking an early lead yet again. We saw this happen last game. Something's in the water at the Denial camp. They're really feeling themselves right now, feeling confident. Mid lane, Snaking's going to get Dragon Tail stun. Masuko comes in. Split Earth. Snaking in trouble yet again. It's like we've seen this before. He's going to go ahead and X himself. Pulls himself back. Gets hit with the last hit and will die. X's himself! He could have lived there. Full tilt Dota from snaking, ladies and gentlemen. Masuko gets caught by an Ice Path in the dual breath. He actually gets the kill before he drops, and now we do see a Dragon Tail stun onto Way Too Sexy, but Smash has to lead because Way Too Sexy is level 6 and 7 actually, and can pop up a whole lot of damage. In fact, he's diving for this. Goes for one more, but it's not enough. A second or third imp would have been enough for the kill, and he doesn't get it there. And I don't know what Snaking was trying to do. If that was an intentional X on yourself. I mean, coming from a player that plays Kunkka pretty frequently, you can miss your X's, especially when they're close range like that. So I'll forgive him. But definitely questionable play from him on the middle lane. And that's already his third death? Yeah, 0-3-0 on that Kunkka. So he's really struggling here. They need to leave a support in this middle lane. Probably the Jakiro. They do have Way Too Sexy here right now, and he does put a whole lot of damage out. So it's not a bad option. But 7-3 kill lead early again for Denial. Bottle up on Dragonite. He hasn't been getting the kills, so he's not that farmed, which is good for Snaking, as he can definitely keep up in this match. He's 26 for 26, so it's really even between these two heroes themselves, but of course the supports on the side are getting a whole chunk of experience. Fog does pop off an Invis Rune. Sentry has hit the deck, so if he moves backwards, they can get vision of him. He moves up to the high ground, though. He's going to spot off this jungling Batrider, and Batrider actually just picks up level 6, so Lasso is now available. They think they know they have... No, they put down the vision afterwards, so they might not know he has an Invis Rune. I'm not sure, but it's not like Fog knew anything by himself. He is level 5. He does a decent amount of damage, but nobody's rotating over yet. On the bottom lane, we see Iwo's farm. He's 45, so he's a little bit behind the Morphling, but it's not by a tremendous margin. In fact, he's ahead in net worth because he's 1-0-3. So it is the aggressive Spectre. Mihawk does get caught off here by an Ice Path. The Universe rotates in, and this should be a pretty easy kill for them. You see the damage coming out. He almost gets killed by the creeps, but a boat used to actually kill off the sack. That's a pretty good use of the boat, and they get most of that stack now. But here comes the engage. Iwo comes in with a level and Desolate. He's hitting pretty hard. There goes the twin-headed dragon, snaking the next target. He's going to die as well. And now TP's out from Dignitas. Once again, a lopsided trade, 2 for 1, as they take down the offlaner in exchange for the middle and the Jakiro, and that's the 4th death on snaking already. The Kunkka struggling today. And I mentioned before the game, I'm not sure if I've ever seen him play Kunkka. I don't know if this is, you can actually blame him for this play outside of the X, but it's certainly something to keep in mind, because I do watch a lot of American Dota. But Smash is going to rotate back here. He does have his treads finished. His farm really as good as it was last game. We're almost nearing the 10-minute mark. Usually, for a good game, you want, as a mid, you want to be around 50 to 60. Great game, you'll be above that. Sometimes you could substitute kills in and be around the 45. He doesn't have those, so it's not as strong as he was last time around. So they'll have an opportunity to try and catch up a little bit here. Morphling will go for the first item. Lincoln's, it seems, as he has a Perseverance delivered out to him. And he has full freeform up top, so he should be able to get that pretty quickly. But like I saw before on the net worth, it looks like he's finally surpassed the Spectre. But Spectre is getting some assist gold, some kill gold from time to time, so that definitely can change, be a little bit more volatile. We do see Masuko get hit by the X, chained up with the Torrent, and an easy kill here for Dignitas, maybe. Yep. As they take down the Leshrac, but middle lane they're going to put the push on. They have Blue Dragon form? No. By Blue Dragon, I meant Green Dragon, and either way they don't have it. My apologies. Middle tier 1 still going to take a good bit of damage. It's dropping down to 1/3 of health. There's a response from one player. It is the Kunkka. He's looking for a Torrent. It's going to hit. The boat on the back end is going to miss, though, as everyone's able to clear off. And now Lasso pulls AUI down to low ground. Misco with the follow-up. They don't have enough damage, though, to deal with this Morphling. Morphling tossed back away from them because they don't want to risk anything. The response for Dignitas is pretty good there. Ends up getting them the denied tower. 9-5 kill advantage for Denial over Dignitas right now. 1 tower denied, 2 towers killed in favor of Dig. So, looks like Enchantress got one of those. We can look at our gold graph and see what that amounts to. It's just over a 2,000 gold lead for Dignitas right now. Experience should be in favor of Denial, though. No, Dignitas have experience as well. Mihawk continuing to jungle. He's sitting on 1,100 gold. I mean, offlane Batrider definitely had a tough time this game. It's hard to speculate when you want to Blink Dagger because the matchup varies, but in the jungle now, he should be able to get it in the next 3 minutes or so, 4 minutes maybe, if he's able to just free farm without having to leave too much, unless he leaves for a positive end if he gets a kill or something along those lines. Spectre does go for the phase drum build. I like this build from it. I think usually phase drum next item is either the Diffusal or Yasha. It varies based on who's playing it. I think Diffusal is probably the better choice, but Yasha's a little bit less expensive and very cost efficient. Mid lane Snaking gets spotted off. There's an Invis rune on Smash. He's thinking about going high ground here, but Snaking knows that something's up because this ward down here spotted the invisibility rune. So he's just going to back up, and Smash is actually going to reveal out of the Invis. Bottom lane's being pushed hard. So Ewo's going to rotate back down and continue his farm. We do see Universe coming in. There's a rotation from a couple supports. Universe has Surge available, so I don't think these supports will really be able to catch him. But Enchantress has to be careful in the jungle. She does pick up an early point booster, so working towards an Aghanims. That should be in play in a pretty timely fashion, considering he has it now. And there's an ultimate Haunt coming out of this. Jump on top of Universe in the bottom lane, and he will go down, in fact. Does get a vacuum off, but it's not enough. Another kill in the offlaner, but the response is nice from Dignitas to go middle lane, trying to push this tower in. Torrent used by Snaking to try and clear the wave a little bit quicker, but he may need that for the engage. Dragonite looking for a Dragon Tail stun on somebody, but just out of range is the Enchantress, so they will be safe as they go to the high grounds. I want to thank everyone that's watching. I'm MY John. This is the American Dota League. Third place battle. 10-5 kill lead for Denial over Dignitas right now in game 2. 1-0 series lead for Denial Esports as well. But Dignitas do have leads in this game in gold and a little bit of experience. Not a big margin at all. They definitely struggled. The offlaner is 0-2-3. Mid laner 0-4-1. So two of their lanes punished pretty heavily, but they're still getting tower kills. AUI is going to get caught on the top lane. He's going to have to wave out of here. His wave is not long enough. It's a choke wave, and he gets hit by the Dragon Tail stun. He's morphing strength, though. He's going to be pretty tanky. We see the dagger come in as well, and AUI, is there any way out of here? There's no response from his team. No TP's in. And that wave resulted in his death. And now it looks like Denial should be able to push down this tower with Green Dragon active, as well as a potential Edict. No, there's no mana for the Edict, but Green Dragon actually wears out too, so I'm just a liar. But that tower should go down. Meanwhile, middle tier 1 is going to get traded off for it. So another good responsive play from Dignitas. They end up losing in terms of losing their carry and losing a tower, but being able to get a tower of their own out of that, that's what professional teams are able to do. They're able to find somewhere else in the map to apply pressure to counteract the pressure being applied to them currently. Here's the chain up. Torrent on top. Boat there. Smashes in a whole lot of trouble. The boat connects. And there it is. Snaking finally looking like a true Kunkka player, able to execute perfectly, get off all of his abilities in quick succession. And he actually did it I don't want to say the harder way, but he definitely could have went for the 3 levels in X marks, use the boat initiate, which some players like to do instead, and then follow up with the Torrent. But it's just up to personal preference, really. I'm being nitpicky now. And this tower is taking some pressure here as Dignitas bring 4 down and are working on the tier 2. We'll see if there's going to be any kind of defense coming up from Denial. There's a couple heroes in the area, but no one's coming up here. This could be a free tier 2 for them. Mech is completed up for Universe on the Darks here, so a really nice item picker for him. But the jump in from Mihawk after the tower's already dead. They're able to get an Ice Path, though, that catches Mihawk, so he can't pull Snaking any further. They turn around. He's going to get off the Torrent combo. It's going to put Mihawk up in the air, but they're still looking for a disengage as they're backing off. Universe already popped off the mech. Here's Telekinesis that's going to catch Snaking, tosses him backward. Follow-up is the Split Earth. Vacuum comes out. A nice wall is going to catch them all. Snaking still barely surviving. He does get off one hit, but down goes Misko, down goes Snaking. We see Rubik drop as well. It's a 1-for-2 as it stands right now, but way too sexy, really low on health. One more hit will take him, and he drops as well. 2-for-2 even trade so far. Ewo can't do anything. He's too low on health. Fog turns around to throw out the Ice Path. Now Dual Breath on top of Mihawk. Fog is manning up, able to take down Mihawk, but a Breathe Fire will kill him. Dragon on Dragon action. 4-3 in favor of Denial down at the bottom lane. And the main thing for them is that Spectre survives. Dragonite survives. So now Dragonite's 200 away from finishing off a Shadow Blade. Spectre is... let's see. He's only 600 away from his Diffusal. And he wouldn't be going to Yasha because he could already have it if he wanted it. So definitely probably a Diffusal build. It could be a Radiance build still, but I think most of the time the aggressive Spectres go Diffusal first. Now AUI in the top lane is going to purchase up his ultimate orb. So bottom lane actually engaged on top of... Wow, Evo's going to go down here. Nice boat is going to catch him, and the imp damage is too much for him to handle as well. Really well played down here, catching off that carry. So nice movement from Dignitas, net them a kill. It's 15-10 in favor of Denial versus Dignitas. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm MY John. This is game 2 of our best of 5 series with Denial up 1-0 thus far. Looking at items, checking one out what everyone's going. Darkseer's probably going to opt for Force Staff soon. Morphling does pick up his Lincoln, so he should be able to get involved soon here. I want to say he's only 1-1, so he's only been a part of 1 kill so far. In a pretty action-packed game, Leshrac disconnects, so a pause will come out for him. And we'll take a minute to actually look at the rest of the items across the board. And we'll see on the Radiant side, we have nothing much going on for the support. Leshrac, looking at the Batrider, we know he has his Blink. Rubik actually opting to pick up an Oblivion Staff, so he's going to go for an Orchid on Rubik. Interesting decision for him there. It could be valuable if they're able to finish off in a timely manner, but I'm doubting that slightly because these team fights, a lot of these supports are dropping. I mean, if we look at this board, we can see there's already 3 deaths on Masuko, a couple of deaths, only 1 death actually on Misko. But we do see Universe getting caught off here on the high ground, gets smashed by Smash. Bad pun intended. And now middle lane's going to be pushed out. We see X marks the spot on Evo, but no follow-up. They don't throw a boat out. And that's going to be the end of the aggression. Meanwhile, once again, Dignitas are going to look to try and split the attention of Denial, and push out the top lane, apply some pressure to this tier 2. It's actually already very low. This tower, meanwhile, in the middle lane for the side of Dignitas is very healthy. So this is a safe situation for AUI, really. He sees 4 heroes there. There isn't engaged. The boat is tossed out. Ice Path, it's going to hit on Mihawk and kill him instantly. Fog, meanwhile, gets jumped on. So it's a 1-for-1 trade right now, but the initiation for Denial is gone. The tower's taking some damage, but AUI was able to take the tier 2 first. And now the glyph is popped off on the side of Dignitas. They're trying to slow this down so that AUI can work towards the base. That's actually Jakiro TPing in from the side, throws off an Ice Path. It catches Smash on the end of it. Here's Universe charging in. They're not going to find anyone. Smash's Invis has Dragon Tail available. Here's a Spectral Dagger. They go on top of Way Too Sexy. Way Too Sexy's dropping quick. The mech is popped. It's not enough to save him. Universe vacuum in. Gets a couple. The Torrent comes in as well. Snaking's not able to finish anyone off yet. Smash pretty low on health. Can they get one more hit? No, Fog just going to drop instead first. Universe is going to go down as well. And this is turning out to be a horrible fight that Dignitas started. Well, actually, technically, I guess the Invisible Dragon Knight started. But another 3-for-0 trade in favor of Denial. Now Mihawk on top lane is trying to pursue a little bit onto the Morphling, but can't find him. And Morphling does pick up his Ghost Scepter, so it could be shotgun first build, which would be pretty nice to see out from Morphling. It, of course, does a tremendous amount of damage. And these supports with not much going on for them, Rubik does finish his Orchid. Holy cow. 8-1-9 on Misko. He's having a hell of a game, man. He's really brought his A game this time around. And that's not easy to do in these fights where everyone is dropping. You have to deal with a boat, a vacuum, tons of AoE damage, and still somehow trucking it, and is able to get a huge item because of that. If you think about how effective that silence is going to be on heroes, I mean, like Darkseer, who's nowhere near BKB, not even thinking of it yet, even Kunkka, who's not near his Shadowblade, still 1,000 off, it really could work well for them. We do see them smoking up and looking to try and take full advantage of that. That is Denial moving towards the top lane. They're going to wrap in here and try and catch somebody off. They need to remember to take off this Lincolns. I'm not sure if they saw it yet. They probably should have. Dragon Tail stun onto Enchantress. They're going to open on him first. They will take him down really quickly, and net flies out. AUI is going to be spotted, though. Spectral Dagger is going to go onto him. It doesn't break the Lincolns. He's going to morph away, actually into the Batrider who uses the lasso, and it will not work. But Dragon Tail stun almost as good. Going to deal damage, but AUI is so tanky, tough to take down. And now there's a big response from Dignitas. This chase could really hurt them. TP's coming in. Universe though gets caught by an instant Ice Path. He's downed. And now Fogged is in the middle of the fight. He's going to drop as well. And on the back end, they were able to finish off the Morphling somehow. Another amazing fight from Denial. And Misko with that Ice Path. Tremendous play. This Rubik has to be the MVP of this game right now. I mean, he is killing it. 8, 1, and 12. A part of 20 kills. Ewo was a part of 20 kills as well. Masuko at 19, but wow. I'm impressed. Middle lane Snaking's going to find off Misko, but I'm not sure he wants to mess with him. The X will stop him for a second. Ice Path's going to fly off, and Misko manning up on the solo middle. Snaking gets taken down by a support. And that might, I mean, nothing's more demoralizing than that. Let's be honest, it's happened to all of us. Getting taken down by a support as a solo or a carry. It is demoralizing. It is humiliating. And that is exactly what just happened. I would not have messed with Misko if I were him. Misko is looking like a beast. He has 1,700 more gold in the bank now. So he can go for whatever he'd like. Morphling, after purchasing up his Ghost Scepter, isn't able to get another item. So he's struggling a little bit in terms of his farm. It was going really well early. Taking a look at that Radiance that just came out from Spectre. So he did opt for the Radiance. 22.5 minute Radiance, considering he had Phase and Drum, is really good. We see Aghanims come out for Way Too Sexy. So Way Too Sexy, always able to finish off his Aghanims. No matter what hero he's on, he gets it in a pretty timely fashion. You just wish some of that money were on some of these other heroes. Looking at Darkseer, he's still looking for a Force Staff. Kunkka, still looking for a Shadow Blade. And now Dignitas are going to try and go for a Roshan here. Using the Enchantress to tank it. That's smart, of course. Even though that does work. But it's only level 1. Ice Path flies off. Rosh is dropping pretty quickly. There's no response from Denial. They don't know what's going on right now. And you can see there's a sentry down here by them. They do have some vision in the river, but if you walk across the wall, you get through easily. And that's exactly what Dignitas did. So, a good job by Dignitas here to get an Aegis up. It's exactly what they need. Now they need a team fight that makes full use of that Aegis and gets them a whole bunch of kills. Because you can't really go late against a Spectre. There's a nice vacuum. It's going to start it off right. They're able to get off. Misko getting really low. Turns around, gets the silence. There's a boat that comes in. Smash dropping pretty low. He's trying to invis out of here. AUI in the middle of the fight. Enchantress gets killed. Masuko. And now Batrider is caught in no man's land. Ewo caught even further in no man's land. The imp damage is going to be enough. Yes, it will take him down. But somehow in the middle of that AUI drops as well. He's going to come back. Buyback from Darkseer. Jump in from Smash. He's going to go on top of Way Too Sexy, but it may cost him his life. Vacuum pulls him back in towards the tower. He's slowed as well. Smash is going to go down, and it does end up being a pretty good team fight for Dignitas. A little bit hesitant to say that because they lost an Aegis. So technically it was a 3-for-3 trade. Darkseer bought back, but one of the deaths was an Aegis on the side of Dignitas, and of course that's what it's for. So it served its purpose. Not long for this world, really, but nonetheless, it's a much-needed teamfight result for Dignitas there. We see Rubik now has picked up a Hood of Defiance. He's trying to be a tank, man. Batrider has his 4-step up. Masuko, looking at him, he's going for a BKB. BKB is a really good item on Leshrac, of course. Middle lane, Snaking taking some damage. Oh, he gets torrented. Mihawk comes into the river, and Snaking once again is getting styled on by this Rubik. Amazing plays from Misko. And Snaking struggling, man. They got to give him a Snaking hero. I mean, looking at this matchup again, middle. It's Kunkka versus a Dragonite. If it had been a Queen of Pain, a hero that he really excels on, he could dominate that matchup. I think, you know, whatever happens in this game, we may end up seeing one of those Snaking heroes next time around. So he could really get something going because he's definitely had less than stellar performances these couple of games. You don't like to harp on one player, but it really can be the difference maker. That solo middle role is so crucial. And now we're looking at 28-14 kill lead. 42 kills in 26 minutes. A really nice number. There's this creep coming towards the bottom lane. He's looking to be aggressive. Fog, meanwhile, is going to throw off an Ice Path. Misko catches him, steals off Ice Path, turns it back on him. Boat's flying. Smash pops off his BKB. He'll ignore that. Fogged is dead. Snaking tossed up in the air. He's going to go down as well again. And a double kill coming out from Ewo on the high ground. A triple kill for Ewo. Gets all 3 of those kills. He is stuck a little bit, but look at this good teamwork. Mihawk comes up with a fire apply and frees his teammate. 3 kills for nothing. And just as the last team fight went well for Dignitas, this one goes horribly for them. Denial Esports are trying to erase all the stigmas they have of not being able to compete up against the top NA talents, of falling to them time and time again in series settings. They're trying to prove themselves right now against Dignitas, and they are doing just that. Able to take Game 1 in a really exciting fashion, doing tremendous job in Game 2. Let's take a look at our graphs and see what they show. Still not a huge margin. Not a huge margin. E-Blade's in play as well now. There's definitely some comeback potential from the side of Dignitas. They have a lot of team fight capabilities. But the later you go, the better a Spectre gets. And Morphling gets good. He gets really good. But if he's left alone in the middle of these team fights, Spectre's able to just whittle down the supports and the low HP targets, then he's going to have a tough time really just winning it independently. I think that might be where we're heading if things continue like this. Dignitas need to find a way to stop the bleeding. We see a smoke towards the middle lane. A couple of heroes smoked up here. They're going to try and play the aggressor yet again. Not letting up off the gas. This time no sentries down. They're going to find an actual Invis rune. Decide who they want to give it to. We'll let Fog be the first man in. He's going to pick up the Invis and lead. And if they go south here, they can find a couple of the members of Denial. If they go north, they can find a couple as well. Smash really low on mana right now. He's going to get spotted off, hit by a couple of imps. He pops off his BKB, pops off Blue Dragon. Turns on Universe Ultimate from Ewo. Comes into the fight. Morphling kills Rubik on the back end, though. A huge vacuum was going to pull Ewo back into the middle, but no one hit by the boat that time. Boat buff still in play. Is going to be a hassle for them to deal with. Universe is the first casualty in this team fight. Second is going to be Snaking. Fog now trying to find his way out of the fight. Cannot do so. 3-for-1 trade again. And I would say Dignitas only able to take down a support, but at this point, Misko is more than a support. I mean, he's a semi-carry. So that is a big kill for them. But nonetheless, they need more than that in these situations, especially when they're the initiator, when they're smoking in. And that's the difficult part of smoking in to an area against the Dragonite with a BKB. All of their damage, outside of Morphling's auto attacks and Kunkka's Tidebringer, is negated by a BKB. So that's a really valuable item in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more heroes opt for it. Maybe even the Batrider eventually. Spectre's not a hero that really goes for BKB. She'd be better suited going for something like a Manta, of course. So I wouldn't expect her to do it. But instead wow. Second Poor Man Shield. Interesting approach there. I caught that. Ewo. Goes for the Astra. So he will go for the Manta next. Not going to go for the Diffusal, which definitely could be a nice item choice, but they're not having any issues catching heroes, really. There's a lot of lockdown on the side of Denial. Look at their team. They have 4 hard disables between Split Earth, Lasso, Dragon Tail, and Telekinesis, and then they have whatever disable Misko's been able to steal, and he's been able to steal almost all of them. I mean, Ice Path every single team fight. He's able to get the Torrent from time to time as well. Here's an Invis from Smash. He's going to wrap around the corner, see if he can spot anyone off. There's no one here yet. Dignitas looking, trying to put up a defense on this Tier 2 tower. Tier 2 tower is going to be focused down here by Denial. See on the side, Mihawk's looking for someone to try and jump on. He comes from the side, picks off Way 2. Is going to bring him in. Fog taking some damage from Blue Dragon. Smash standing, though, in the middle of the macro power. Actually takes him down to half health. Now Fog taking some extra damage. They're trying to get this support Jakiro really hard. Smash goes for the second Dragon Tail stun, but now he's left vulnerable. Does not have any BKB timer left. Spectre comes in. Spectre does some cleanup duty. Fogged is dead. The Illusion's dealing some damage to the supports. Way 2 dropping down pretty low. On the bottom lane, he doesn't actually bring his hero in, as he's going to ward off the push. And no casualties from Denial yet again. Tier 2 tower is going to be taken down. Roche should be respawning relatively soon. 3 minutes off. They're going to take the Ancient stack as well. It's 2-3 stack maybe. Insult to injury. 35-15 right now. Denial Esports over Dignitas. Thank you for tuning in. This is the American Dota League third place match. Denial versus Dignitas. I'm MY John casting for you tonight. It's been really exciting so far, and I'm hoping you're all enjoying the games. 50 kills in 31 minutes, as Denial are looking top form against one of the best teams from North America, a team that is TI3 bound in less than a month now. And they don't have an answer for the Peruvians quite yet. Morphling's going to look for a BKB. It certainly will help, but an invisible smash coming up towards the top lane as the visibility is going to wear out. It's going to come in and spot off AUI. Here's the invisibility again. He's going to rotate in. They don't have anything to break this. He goes for the Dragon Tail. It's just going to get blocked. And there's the block. There's the morph out. Of course, AUI, plenty of experience on Morphling. I think any carry player that was around last summer has plenty of experience on Morphling. And AUI showcasing it there. Of course, last year, known as Pot and Bottom. This year, Dignitas, like I just said, TI3 bound. But they definitely have to perform better than they are right now. They're lackluster showing against Denial, and Denial taking full advantage of that. Don't take any credit away from them. They have looked the better side in this game for the entire game. Last game, it was up and down, back and forth. But Dignitas are definitely on the back end of this fight right now. They have tremendous team fight capabilities. They're going to need to find a really good engage. And then they have an opportunity to maybe break into the base. But we have a little bit of a off pushing now. Ewo gets caught on the bottom lane. Torrent, boat, everything's going to hit. Ewo's going to drop. He does have enough money for a buyback, and he's going to buy back instantly. Comes back in, and a tremendous engage there from Snaking. Gets them right on to Tier 3. Tier 3 goes down. Roche respawning in 30 seconds. You can see our timer showing us everyone TPing home except for the Lash. And now the engaged Dragonite finds off Darkseer first. There's an Ice Path. It's going to catch Snaking. Snaking is invisible. They don't have any detection right now, but they're going to go on Fogged instead. Fogged is going to drop for sure. TP out from Way Too Sexy. And the Rax is being worked on by Masuko. He's going to actually turn around, but he needs to get out of here. AOI's coming in. No shotgun available. Wait for him over. BKB TP out is not enough for Masuko. Not sure what he was thinking staying that long. It would really be a mistake from Dignitas if they let them have that Rax with only a support ledge right there. But nonetheless, still a good response play from Denial. And that's what we've been seeing all series. These supports have been so effective. We've seen tremendous movement. Ewo did have to buy back, but now they're looking for a Roche kill. And with 2 on the sideline for Dignitas for a couple more seconds, this could be a free Roche. You see no one from Dignitas have left the base. Showing 2 heroes right here and a couple more in the well as they're just respawning. And this is going to be a free Roshan unless Dignitas can pull off a miracle, and that is not going to occur. Roche is down. Rotating towards the middle wave. Clearing it rather quickly. See him come in, throw off an Ice Path from either side. Boat comes in. It's not going to connect on anyone, but Boat Buff is in play. That's the important thing. Smash going and chipping away some damage on the back end. There's a vacuum. It's going to pull everyone into the wall. Now Snaking taking a whole lot of damage. He might be the first casualty here, but Ewo does go down. He still has the Aegis, though. He's going to pop right back up in a moment. Smash is going to get Dragon Tail Stun on top of Enchantress. Enchantress slowed down. Smash going to go ahead and offer one auto attack to finish off the Dragonite as well. Ewo in pursuit is going to drain them down even further. 2 are on the sideline for Dignitas, 1 on the sideline for Denial, as Denial are thinking about trying to press onto the base right now. AC is in play from Dragonite as well. Manta just comes out to Ewo, and they rotate up towards the top lane. But backdoor protection should be here. No, it's not. Creeps are close enough to the base, in the base, around the base, and the towers are going to go down. This is a Rax early for Denial. AUI jumps into the middle of the fight. Vacuum's going to be in play. He pops out the BKB. Still taking a lot of damage from Ewo and his illusions, though. He has to start strength morphing. Meanwhile, Smash is going to get hit by an Ethereal Blade charge, it looks like, and just mosey on out of here. He's going to pop off the Invis. Rubik was killed somewhere in the middle of that fight, but still, a Rax for Rubik. That's a really good trade for the side of Denial, as they're trying to find themselves a Game 2 victory over the much favored Dignitas side. And Dignitas just don't have that secondary damage to fall back on. Kunkka at 36 minutes only has a Shadow Blade. Their real secondary source of damage is Imps from Enchantress. Impetus, of course, does a good amount of damage, but BKB up, it's not effective. Ewo's going to get caught off here. Actually pops off his illusions, and he'll be able to retreat. So that's a problem we've seen from Dignitas in the past. They try to rectify it by running more two-core strategies, but this time around, Denial were able to shut down this Kunkka so effectively. Look at these lines on Dignitas. It's not even like AUI's been punished hard this game. He only has 2 deaths. As the bottom lane, they somehow find out Darkseer and get a kill on him. As I was showing the lines, you could see 213 on Jakiro, middle lane. They're going to throw off a torrent and a boat. Ewo's stuck here. Look at the imp damage. It's enough to take him down. Ewo's going to actually drop here. And that's a really nice catch for them. Going back to the lines, though, you can see Universe 2 and 11. Snaking 2 and 10. Really tough game for that 2 and 3 roll on the side of Dignitas. And that's what's holding them back, really. If they had one of those effective secondary items, something like a sheep out from Darkseer, or even a Chrysalis, Daedalus from that Kunkka, they wouldn't be faring nearly as badly. But that's pretty obvious. Misko in the top lane is going to try and ward off this push. He does have a gem. He finished up that pipe earlier, and now also has a Ghost Scepter on top of that. I mean, looking at his net worth, he is above those heroes we just pointed out. And this is Misko, our support Rubik. He's beating the solo middle Kunkka and the off-lane Darkseer, both of which farm at a much quicker rate than he does, between the Tidebringer and the Ion Shell. We do see, however, Enchantress beating all 3 of them, so Enchantress is having a tremendous game. And earlier I had mentioned in the draft that I thought maybe Dignitas were going to go for the defensive approach, pick up a hero like Shadow Demon. Oh, in the jungle they catch off one again. It's Mihawk this time. Dignitas trying to find their way back into the game. This happened last game, albeit at a much earlier time before things were getting as murky as they are now. Back to what I was saying before. Earlier I was mentioning Enchantress got last picked by Dignitas. I thought Shadow Demon would have been a pretty good pick as a defensive purpose, but Enchantress' offensive capabilities are definitely shining in this game right now. 8, 4, and 3 on Way Too Sexy. He has that Aghanims up. He's picking up a Demon Edge. Probably going to go to MKB, maybe a Daedalus? I don't even know. It's kind of uncharted territory on Enchantress, but that's what they need. You saw the damage he dealt to Spectre. That's some real damage. Buyback comes out from Batrider, meanwhile. That's going to prevent Dignitas from pushing to the high ground. And maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. This is still a really close game between these two teams. Denial Esports and Dignitas. We saw last game where it looked like one of the teams was in an advantage, but how real was the advantage? It comes down to these team fights. It comes down to the vacuum wall. The durations on these BKBs are getting seconds left on that BKB. Masuko still has 8 seconds on his. And interestingly enough, Batrider's going to go for the sheep instead of the BKB this time around. Top lane, though, AUI is away from home. He has a morph down bottom, so should be able to get out of here unless this is perfectly timed. It has to be perfect from Denial. Can they get it? There it is. Pop it off. Nope. And I'm not sure why they're starting off with the lasso to pop off the Lincolns. He can get in there sooner, so I guess that's their reasoning, but it definitely is an expensive skill to use to try and pop off a Lincolns. So questioning Denial's choice a little bit there. And the longer you let Morphling farm, the more formidable he's going to be. On the flip end, same can be said of Spectre, though. And Spectre maybe going to work towards a Heart next, just to get that extra tankiness. Wouldn't be a bad decision. Snaking in the river is spotting off Ewo, but he definitely can't do this alone. There's only a couple heroes nearby, and it's not enough. They need to have Way Too Sexy or AUI 2000 there to have any real shot of killing off that Spectre at this point in the game. We're 48 minutes in. This is Game 2 of the American Dota League third place matchup between Dignitas, the North Americans, in Denial, the Peruvians. And boy, have the Peruvians surprised tonight. They're coming out with their A-game as they jump on top of Fog Dragon battle. We see Smash going on top of the twin-headed dragon, and he's going to drop. They're moving towards the base now. It's not over yet. BKB pop from AUI 2000, who someone gets caught in the thick of things. He's looking for the waveform over the edge. He's going to get out. The re-engage comes on the back end. A lot of damage coming out onto that Rubik, and Way Too Sexy is proving to be a menacing force, but he's trying to TP out of here, and he will not get out. 5-1-12. 5-1-12. 5-1-2 gold for him. 512 gold. As the middle tier 3 is being focused now. Remember, one Rax is already down. for Dignitas. They cannot afford to lose a second Rax here. They still have 3 big heroes up against 4 heroes from Denial. They don't have buybacks on either of the dead targets, though, and that is a problem. We see the X marks the spot come off on Smash. He has no mana. It's a mistimed X, not comboed into the Torrent, and now Snaking's going to pay for it with his life, perhaps. The Spectral Dagger is going to kill him. Vacuum in is going to pull Ewo as well as Smash towards the tower, but it looks like the tier 3 is the only thing they killed so far. Kunkka with buyback, jump forward from AUI, he's looking for one target. He uses the adaptive strike on the Smash, still pursuing here. No detection though, so an invisible Smash is a safe Smash, but invisibility wears off just like that. Ethereal Blade up in 5 seconds, waveform over the top. Smash pops out to BKB though, Universe comes in for support. Invisibility popped yet again. And now Smash needs jukes. He's going to go ahead and try and find a TP and get home. He has 4,900 gold in the bank. I think he would go for a Heart next to add to his tankiness, but he very well could go for Chrysalis, Daedalus too if he feels the damage output is at a premium. Leshrac died somewhere in the middle of that fight. Ewo is really in no man's land. As it looks like they tried to get in and backdoor these Raxes as Smash was being chased. Definitely a risky decision. Spectre is opting to turn. This is a pretty cool how he toggles his Radiance. A lot of players forget to do that ever since it was one of the newer changes in Dota 2. But definitely an important thing to remember when you're on a Radiance hero. And here's a smoke from Denial. They're going to look to try and take the fight to Dignitas yet again. The question is, can they take down this Morphling? We've seen him survive so often. In 43 kills for Denial, they've only killed Morphling twice. He's built the survivability setup, and now they're going to catch off Way Too Sexy first. They jump on top of him. Way Too Sexy is not long for this world. He goes down. Universe is going to come in, vacuums everyone onto the ice path. Here's a boat coming here from the side from Snaking. It only catches Misco, but with the pipe up, the boat does minimal damage, if anything at all. Here's a lasso on top of Darkseer. Universe gets pulled back. He's going to get hit off by that slow. Nope, instead they change focus to the Fogged, and another Flame Break goes up and is able to finish off Darkseer as well. 2 heroes dead, 1 buyback coming out from Dignitas, 3 heroes alive. Can they contest this push? The middle Rax is dropping. Looks like top lane Illusions are trying to push this out. Here's the fight. Universe in the middle of the fight, taking a whole lot of damage. Smash turns around, gets a slow. They lift up, Snaking, toss him back. AUI looking to press forward here. He could find a kill on Masuko, will find a kill on Masuko, could find a kill on Smash. Adaptive Strike will capitalize on that, and then he just goes ahead and uses the morph back to the base. AUI 2000 with next level plays, forcing the buybacks, going for the Rax. He's going to get a melee barracks here. No, the glyph is there, and now a silence and a telekinesis. AUI is at risk of losing his life, and a torrent. Where did they get a torrent from? Oh, okay. So he used the Fable to break and he had torrent the whole time. My apologies. A surprise torrent because he instantly stole off the replicate afterwards. But, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. That was a brilliant plan for AUI. He got 2 kills, knew they couldn't push any longer. They had enough heroes alive, 3 alive to defend that. And just transitioned into trying to steal Rax. If he got that melee barracks, that would have been quite the sequence for Dignitas. That would have been an amazing play. One of the best plays I've seen in a while, honestly. But he ends up getting killed off. Great response. Forces all the buybacks from Denial. Now they're going to turn this into a push now. And there is no buyback for Morphling. Here's the fight. The boat comes out into the middle of it. It's going to get boat buff to all the team, but it's not enough to kill anyone. It actually doesn't convert on that many heroes. Maybe hits the supports on the back end. Smash is coming in here. X is going to go on him, pull him back into a torrent, but the Rax is dead. The damage is done, and Denial should disengage, but they're pressing. Ewo's going to get a kill onto Fogged. Spectral Dagger is going to come out. It's going to hit onto Snaking. Snaking trying to make his way back to the well, silenced up, and a Flame Break's going to knock him the wrong way. They'll get Snaking as well. Multi-kill, double kill for Ewo. And they turn around. They're going to work on the final Rax, and this could be game 2 going to Denial right now. GG called from Dignitas and Denial Esports. Denial Esports are showing everybody what's up. Playing a tremendous series right now. They're up 2-0 over Dignitas. Nobody saw this coming. That's the end of game 2. Amazing, amazing game so far. Coming up from the side of Denial, and Dignitas need an answer. I said it during the game. They need to give Snaking a Snaking hero. Let him beat the Dragon Knight middle. Give him Queen of Pain. Give him Puck. Give him Templar Assassin. I don't even mind. just let the kid try and shine because Kunkka was not his thing. 2-12 Kunkka, 2-13 Darkseer, 2-16 Jakiro. Can't really blame Jakiro, but you can see where the shortcomings from Dignitas were in that game. Meanwhile, on the flip side, 12-4 Dragonite, having a tremendous game again. Ewo on the aggressive Spectre, 16-4 26. A part of 42 kills in 46 minutes. And don't forget Misko, the real MVP of this game. Rubik, 9-4 26. Amazing game from the Nile. So impressed overall. And we're heading to game 3, guys. However, it's not the way many had predicted. 2-0 is the score, but it's in favor of Denial over the North American favorites right now. Dignitas need to try and find something to keep them in the series. Thank you for watching. I'm MI John. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at MIJohnTV. I really do appreciate it. It helps me a ton. Also, be sure to follow at American Dota on Twitter. That's even more important, so do that first. And then buy a ticket for $5 in-game so you can join us in-game. This is the last series. I'm not going to try and trick you guys. But ticket gives you access to all the replays. We've had some tremendous matchups and also supports the ADL, which is what's most important. We'll see you guys in Game 3. It should be coming up shortly.